All right, you beautiful kiddos. We got a nice lesson today. It's going to be definitely more complex than the one we did, or the two lessons we did the other day. This one's going to make you think a little bit. And even though I know for the most part, it seems like everyone has done order of operations, okay, I want to teach you how I do it and how I like to teach it. So it's going to be a little different probably than what you've experienced. You need to be totally patient with my writing today, again, just because I was just looking up tablets right now. I'm going to have to drop some money and get a nice one to be able to draw and write the way that I want to write. But let's just look at order of operations. And you've probably heard it in the past as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's kind of how you remember the order of operations. P is parentheses, E is exponents, M is multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Okay, now why I don't like this is because, okay, parentheses always comes first. Okay, we do what's in the parentheses first. And whenever we get inside of a parenthesis, let's say there's a lot of junk in a parenthesis, the order of operations resets. So once we look inside of a parenthesis, we say, okay, let me go back now and let me reset. Are there any parentheses inside of the parentheses? Okay, and we can look at that maybe a little later and see how in depth we can get into that. Okay, but that's first. Exponents are definitely second. Okay, now what you need to understand is that multiplication and division are the same thing. So these guys actually come on the same level. It's multiplication or division because realistically multiplication and division are the exact same thing. They're just opposite operations of each other. So when you get to a spot, you don't just do multiplication before division. Okay, when you get to this spot, you say, hey, which one comes first, left to right? Okay, left to right, which one comes first? If division comes before multiplication, left to right, you do that one first. Okay, so once you get to this spot right here, whether it's, hey, you're looking for multiplication or division, we're always going to work left to right. Okay, just like you're reading. Okay, same thing with addition and subtraction. Okay, we don't do addition before we do subtraction. That's why I don't like the way they teach this. They teach this incorrectly because addition and subtraction are the exact same thing. Okay, what you're going to do here is the same thing. Once you get down here, you're asking yourself, okay, let me work left to right. If subtraction is on the left of the addition operation, then we do subtraction first. Okay, so hopefully that clears some things up. And this is another reason why, when you get to the point where you're going to do your homework and you look at the bottom of the lesson and you're like, oh my gosh, this is easy. I know how to do this. Okay, I really want you to take your time and watch the videos because it's important that you understand a lot of the stuff that you were taught in the past may not have been taught correctly. And that's why I think I'm a good math teacher because I like to explain things and I like to just make them as simple as possible for you to understand. Okay, so you should have this worksheet. You should have printed it out before you started this assignment. If not, and I say, hey, let's go ahead and look at number 7, right? What you can do is always hit pause and write down number 7. Okay, that if you don't have a printer, that's okay. When we get to maybe some more elaborate worksheets with graphs and stuff like that, maybe you have friends print it out and drop it off at your house in advance, something like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at number 7 just for the heck of it together. Okay, now we're going to work through our order of operations. Are there any parentheses? No. Are there any exponents? No. Is there multiplication or division? Yes. Okay, we work left to right. So this guy is actually first. Okay, and I'm gonna have to pull my calculator out because at this point, like I don't want to do 29 times 24 in my head. So I'm gonna have my calculator out right now. 9 times 24 is 216. So once we do this, we're done with it and we reset. So we'll say 10 minus 216, and then we just drop everything down. We'll say divided by 8 times 6. Okay, now we do, and please forgive my writing. I promise it's going to get better in the future. You're not going to see this for very much longer. Okay, now we reset and we say, hey, any parentheses? No. Any exponents? No. Multiplication or division? We got to say or. We say yes. Remember, we don't do multiplication before division. We work left to right. In this case, this is our left to right. This is our division. It comes before multiplication. 216 divided by 8 is 27. So this becomes 27 now. and we rewrite it. 10 minus, this is 27 now, times 6. Okay, we reset again. And we say, okay, remember, we're not going to do 10 minus 27 first. We're looking in our order of operations. Multiplication is going to come before subtraction. So we have to do 27 times 6. And we get 162. So we have 10 minus 162. And I think we get, I'm going to be just negative 152. And that's our answer. Now we have a lot of steps here, a lot of steps. And this is like one of the first problems in the worksheet. So you got to understand, it's going to get more tricky. That means on the homework and on the quiz, like you got to go slow. You got to show all your steps. You got to work slow. You got to do these things. Okay, so let's drop down. Let's make it easy. Okay, let's drop down to 12. And we'll do 12 again together. And then I'm going to have you try one on your own. Okay, so what are we going to do first? We look at our, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Are there any parentheses? No. Are there any exponents? No. Now the next step we say is multiplication or division. Don't just go, hey, multiplication and then division. No, it's either or. So we're looking for multiplication or division left to right. Now let's look left to right. What do we see first? Boom, division. Okay, 15 divided by 5 is 3. So drop this guy down and we'll say 9, whatever this sign is, plus this guy's 3, and then bring this stuff down, times 13. Okay, now same thing. We go through our order of operations. Is there any multiplication or division? Yes, right here, 3 times 13, which is 39. So we'll say 9 plus, and this becomes 39. And 9 plus 39 should be 48. Okay, there you go. Boom. Let me see what kind of problem I want to give you. Let's do 16 on our own, which means you're going to press pause. You're going to do 16 on your own, and then we're going to go over it and check it. Once you're done, press play, and we can go over it. All right, let's go over this. I'm going to mess with this color wheel a little bit because, like, why not? Let's get some interesting colors. Ooh, this teal's looking pretty cool. I'm liking it. Okay, let's start. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. No parentheses, no exponents, multiplication or division, right? Or division. Well, what's coming first? Division. 24 divided by 4 is 6. Drop everything else down. Plus 14 times 2. Okay, next step. We're looking. What's next? Okay, we're going to do multiplication or division again. There's our multiplication. 14 times 2 is 28. So we drop this guy down, and we have 6 plus 28. You add 6 and 28, and you should get 34. I believe. Okay, and I don't like this color. I want purple again. Okay, now let's get a little trickier. I mean, let's go ahead and see what we got here. Let's come down to 26. And let's check 26 out together as a class, because I want you to practice some of the trickier ones, because I mean that's what we're going to see on the quiz. Okay, now let's look at 26. We have parentheses. They're right here. Inside of those parentheses, our order of operations resets. So we ask ourselves, are there any parentheses in the parentheses? No, there isn't. Okay, are there any exponents in the parentheses? Yes, there is right here, 3 squared. And remember, 3 squared is not 6. 3 squared means 3 times 3. It's 3 times itself 2 times, which is what? 9. Okay, so I'm going to erase this guy, and I'll just put a 9 right here. Now let's stay in the parentheses. Let's stay in there. Okay, and let's ask ourselves, what's next? Do we do addition first or multiplication? Well, we do multiplication first. So what's 9 times 5? That's 45. And we're going to stay in the parentheses here. And what's 45 plus 9? I think it's 54. So we're going to write that right here, 54. And I can bring everything else down. 2 times 54 plus 4. Okay, how's that? So what we're looking at now is order of operations. Back to it. We're going to do multiplication before we do addition. What's 2 times 54? I think it's 108. And then we have plus 4. Okay, 108 plus 4 is 112. Boom. Okay, so that's pretty much as crazy as we're probably going to get today. But now we got to practice a little bit. That's the key. We got to master this thing. Okay, let's look at 21. I want you to do 21 on your own, completely on your own. Press pause, do 21, press play when you're done, and we can check it. Okay, now we have 2 sets of parentheses. So you're thinking, man, what do I do? Well, we'll attack this parentheses first on the left, and then we'll attack this parentheses on the right. Okay, pretty simple. Now, you can see that the squared here is on the outside. So what we have to do is we actually have to do what's in the parentheses first and then square it. So what 6 plus 4 is 10. And what we have is 10 squared. So what's 10 times 10? 100. We're done with this parentheses. Now let's come over here. Okay, we're going to do division before we do addition. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 11 plus 5 is 16. And drop this sign down. 100 plus 16 is 116. Boom. Okay. Now, can I find anything tougher? I'd say, come on, we got to have something that's tough here. Okay, how about 24 on your own? Okay, 24, press pause. Do 24, press play when you're done, and we'll go over it. Okay, 24, I see a parentheses here, so let's attack. Now, what I like about this parentheses is we have addition and subtraction in here, which means that's the same, they're on the same level. Addition and subtraction are on the same level. So what we got to do now is attack left to right. Okay, so we're going to attack left to right. Let's do the whatever's left first and then right second. So what's 9 plus 33? I think it's 42. And then we have minus 6. What's 42 minus 6? Man, that's a good question. My brain's farting away. 36. Okay, now let's rewrite everything. Let's just rewrite it. Divided by 6 minus 3 squared. And you can't get caught up in the trap of just working left to right because you're going to mess up all the time. So we're done with our parentheses. What do we see next? Exponents, right? 3 squared. Well, 3 times 3 or 3 squared is 9. So I'm going to get rid of this guy and put a 9 here. Okay, now what do I have? I've got division, and then I've got subtraction. Okay, I'm going to do division before subtraction. What's 36 divided by 6? It's 6. And what we have left is 6 minus 9. And we actually did that lesson earlier in the week. 6 minus 9. You could put it in your calculator and it'll spit out the answer for you. Or you can change this to plus a negative. Which one's bigger? The 9's bigger, right? So we're going to keep that sign. We know our answer is going to be negative, and we subtract. What's 9 minus 6? 3. Boom. Okay, what do you think about that? Thinking pretty easy? Easy money? Okay, last 3 problems of the day. What you're going to do after these 3 is you'll have your homework assignment on order of operations, probably 5 problems maybe, and then you're going to have a quiz after that on everything we learned for the entire week. Okay, so go ahead and press pause right now. I need 28, 29, and 30 from you just as practice, super important. Okay, and then we'll come back and we'll go over them. Okay, 28. Sorry for that interruption. Totally recording this video and getting interrupted. Okay, inside of this parentheses, let's attack the exponents first. 3 squared is 9. Okay, and now we have addition and subtraction on the same level. Let's go left to right. Think 10 plus 59 is 69. And we have 69 minus 9, which is 60. Okay, done there. Let's bring the sign down. And let's attack what's in here. What's 24 minus 4? 20. 60 divided by 20 is 3. Okay, next, let's attack the parentheses first. Inside of the parentheses, let's attack the exponents first. 4 squared is 16. I should have changed that, that color, yeah? 4 squared is 16. And now let's attack this because we did our exponents. Let's do our multiplication next. 12 times 6, I think, is 72 minus 16. 72 minus 16, 56. Drop everything else down. 4 times 56 plus 9. So obviously we're going to do the multiplication before we do the addition. 4 times 56, 224, right? 224 plus 9, 233. I love it. I love it. Last one. Let's switch it up to some green. Okay. Parentheses first. 19 minus 8, I think, is 11. I'm going to write that down. 10 plus 4 is what? 14. I have my plus, and we have our 8 squared. Next is we're going to attack the exponents. Okay, 8 squared is, 8 times 8 is 64. So we have 11 times, let's be neat, as neat as we can, 14 plus our 64. Okay, now what are we going to do first? Well, I can tell you what we're going to do first. Okay, we're going to do the multiplication first. 11 times 14 is 154 plus 64 equals 218. Okay, now, hey, that's our week. That's our week of math right there, wrapped up. Boom. Okay, homework next, quiz after that. Have a freaking great weekend. If you need any tutoring, you know what to do. Okay, come see me on Monday. I'll have my office hours open. I'll be on that link, and we can go from there. So I appreciate you kids. Hopefully I'll have my tablet by next week, so my writing's better, my writing's quicker. Please make sure, if you want, you can always send me like little comments on the email and just say, hey, Mr. Grasmick, I would appreciate it if you did this. Like maybe I'm going a little too quickly for you. Or maybe, hey, I'd appreciate if you could do maybe a couple extra practice problems here. Like anything, any constructive criticism or feedback I can that's going to help you kids is what I want to do. I mean, it's plain and simple. I'm just here to help you kids. That's all I care about. Okay? So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys later.